Happy Monday, party people. Let's go over some decks you could try for your weekly grind on the ladder. I'm going to do bronze through gold this week, and I have something a little bit different because I'm looking at the meta right now, and it's a lot of the decks that I've talked about in the past 2 or 3 weeks, so we're going to switch it up a little bit. In terms of the meta right now, Death Knight has some decks that you can use, obviously, Demon Hunter, Paladin, but every single class, if you go through bronze through gold in all regions, has at least one deck, some several, that have above a 50% win rate, so that's good. That's helpful in case you don't want to play Death Knight or don't want to play Demon Hunter or Paladin. There's options for everyone. So this is what I wanted to do, because I've gone through a lot of these decks in the past couple of weeks, these ones that are still up there high on the meta. I thought, let's go through a couple of the decks that I found that are super cheap, or a lot cheaper than, 20,000 Arcane dust. So I've got a couple of suggestions here, and then I've got one that costs zero dust right now. Let's get into it. Undead Priest is the first one. This one is super popular as of late. You can see the popularity go up every single day. Win rate's not as high as it used to be, but that's just because things are settling. This was right around the time of the patch, but it's in a flux. So again, the popularity is where it's at, and this is a very good, very strong deck. This one is only 4,280 dust, which is pretty good. The goal for this is super simple, and it's funny because when you look at playing this deck, or when you see this being played like on stream, I'm like, how does the priest playing all the Death Knight cards? Well, it's just they're undead. So it's very simple. You have Benedictus, and it's going to turn your shadow form to where your healing hero power is now a hitting hero power, and you're just building up your deck with you're building up your board with the cards that are in here, a lot of synergies with undead, and you're just smacking face as soon as you can. You got Amalgam in there if you need to be able to choose another undead. You have Mind Eater, which add a copy of a card in your opponent's deck to your hand, and usually it's one of the best ones, at least I've seen when I'm playing against it. And then you have card draw here with give a minion +2/+1 and draw a card. It's pretty big. It's very fast. These games are super fast, but it's also very powerful. This one you're going to see this until they do any nerfs. You're going to see this. The match durations average 6.6 minutes. These things take no time, because if you do things right, you put your board together, you're just smacking face immediately, aggressively. Look at the win rates. You're a little bit less of a win rate on Death Knight and Demon Hunter and Paladin, but those are the three, highest win rates right now. So definitely don't sleep on this deck. Next one we're going to go through is Secret Mage. Now, I saw Secret Mage, and I've never played Secret Mage before. I've seen it played against me, but it's pretty simple. You have a lot of secrets. You have the new Cosmic Keyboard in there that actually gives you some minions on your board, and then you're just using secrets. It's secrets. That's it. And it's super cheap. This is only 3,560 dust. So that's one of the things that I wanted to do. The win rate right now overall is 57.9%. This is bronze through gold, and you don't need a lot of you don't need a lot of hand holding with this. And some of these secrets can just win you the game instantaneously. So like I said, don't sleep on this one. It's very good as well. And then listen, if you do not have a lot of dust, if you're just starting out, be cognizant that all of the core cards are pretty powerful. There's a lot of mechs in there for synergies or what have you, so where if you don't have some of these, just throw a bunch of mechs in there. Throw Ziliacs in there. Put some of these minions that you already have through the core set in there to strengthen these decks. And again, these decks are not very expensive anyway. But yeah, if you want to do high win rates and you don't have a lot of dust, look at some of these. This is Frost Death Knight here across the board, but 3,960 dust, 4,300 dust, 4,600 dust, and it's cheap. you know? Frost Undead Death Knight, 2400, 2700. I passed over something right now because I wanted to show you this. This one right here, Unholy Death Knight, this costs 0 dust. Every single one of these cards should have been free to receive. That's amazing. For it having a 59.2% win rate in that range, if you have no dust to reserve and to build these things, start grinding with this. It's very simple. The entire deck synergizes with each other. You're only dealing with one legendary, which is Lord Merogar, Lord Merogar. Raise all your corpses as 1/1 risen golems with rush for each that can't fit. Give one +2/+2. Every one of these cards builds corpses in your hand, in your game. So just build corpses, and then throw this out to have a huge, massive board. And look, the win rates are great. 64% against Demon Hunter, 80% against Druid. There's a couple of things that you have tough times with, but again, for this to cost 0 dust. And it is what it is, like I said. Go through all of the Death Knight cards, because these are not expensive decks to be building, and look at these win rates. 60%, 63%. This one's 40 dust right now, and it's 63% win rate. For not a lot of money, I would be hitting the Death Knight decks all the time. While we're going through this, I wanted to go. This one is not super cheap, but it's very cool. Big Demon Hunter is coming back in a big way. I've seen that the popularity has increased exponentially in less than a week, almost 2 weeks now. But this is something you don't want to miss, because it is a fun deck. It is a little bit more expensive, so we are going to go out of that cheap low dust range at 8,320 dust. But the cool thing is this deck, I think, is going to just be seen more and more play as time goes on. We're going to see this as a big contender, in my opinion. And what you're doing is you're keeping yourself alive until you can get out the Raging Fell Screamer, which your next demon you play costs 2 less, and then you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna get these big demons out: Ziliag, Illidari, Brutal Annihilon. And then when you're done playing these, you have multiple, all Fell Breaks Loose. If you do this right, all of those demons are gonna come back. It's a big Demon Hunter deck. It is what it says. It's super simple, but you're just staying alive for the ability to get those cards out. You also have the bear with me a second, Dispose of Evidence. So if you have some of your big demons in your hand and you don't need them right now, you have the Dispose of Evidence, which is give your hero +3 attack this turn, and then choose a card in your hand to shuffle back into your deck. There you go. So if you don't have anything that you can play right now, all you have is a Illidari Inquisitor at freaking 3 mana, just go ahead and swap that back in there, and you're also giving yourself some attack at the same time. Okay, while we're doing this, let's go over some of the trending decks that I've seen in the past. This was 48 hours, so this is the trending decks on hsreplay.net, and again, Unholy is up there. It's staying up there, 4,000 games so far. Also, something that you don't see when you go through, and I'm going to go back and forth a little bit. Druid is only at a 46% win rate, globally, but when you go over here to trending Hearthstone decks, this is getting big. So Tony Druid is something to be on the lookout for. My definite suggestion is go through these trending decks for your gameplay before you're playing, to look at some of these cards that are being played and some potential synergies, so you'll know what you're coming up against. Same thing with Control Priest. Control Priest is coming up a little bit, 4,200 games. I always look at this part of hsreplay.net to get an idea of what I'm potentially going to face, and then potentially an upcoming meta breaker that I haven't seen before. So that's all I got for this week. Please like and subscribe if you think what I'm doing is good. I've got another video I'm working on that's going to talk about, hey, listen, if you have 0 dust or you have 0 money to buy packs, what types of decks could you be building that cost you little to no money? And I'm going to put that together super soon. So thanks so much. Have a good time.